Money. It's one of the most powerful forces in your life, yet most people never learn how to handle it properly. The truth is, staying poor isn't always about earning too little. Sometimes it's about the habits you've built over years that quietly drain your wealth and keep you stuck in a cycle of financial struggle. Today, we're going to look at 7 money habits that are actively keeping you poor, and more importantly, how to stop them right now. The first habit that keeps you poor is spending money you haven't earned yet. This is the trap of living beyond your means. When you buy things on credit, when you finance purchases you can't afford with cash, you're essentially stealing from your future self. Every dollar you charge to a credit card is a dollar you'll have to pay back later, plus interest. It's like running on a treadmill at dawn, moving your legs as fast as you can, but never actually getting anywhere. You feel busy, you feel productive, but you're not making progress toward financial freedom. The problem with spending money you don't have is that it creates a debt spiral. You buy something today, you pay interest tomorrow, and suddenly you need to earn even more money just to stay in the same place. This habit is particularly dangerous because it feels normal in modern society. Everyone around you is doing it. Credit cards are everywhere. Buy now, pay later services are marketed as convenient solutions. But convenience is what keeps you poor. Real wealth comes from discipline, from saying no to things you want today so you can have everything you need tomorrow. The second habit is failing to track your spending. You can't improve what you don't measure. If you don't know where your money is going each month, you're essentially flying blind. It's like standing in a dark gym surrounded by dumbbells and kettlebells, unable to see which weights you're lifting or how many repetitions you've completed. You might think you're making progress, but without visibility, you're just guessing. Most people have no idea how much they spend on coffee, on subscriptions, on small impulse purchases. These expenses seem insignificant individually, but together they form a massive leak in your financial boat. $50 here, $30 there, $100 on things you forgot you bought. Over the course of a year, these small leaks can add up to thousands of dollars that could have been invested, saved, or used to build real wealth. The solution is simple but requires discipline. Track every single expense for 30 days. Write it down or use an app. Categorize your spending. See exactly where your money goes. Only then can you make informed decisions about where to cut back and where to invest more deliberately. The third habit that keeps you poor is not having an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Your roof leaks. You lose your job. When emergencies happen and you don't have money saved, you have only 2 choices. You either go into debt or you sacrifice something important. Most people choose debt because they've never built the safety net that comes with an emergency fund. An emergency fund is your financial insurance policy. It's the difference between a temporary setback and a financial crisis. Without one, you're always one bad day away from disaster. You're standing on a foggy road in the early morning with no map and no sense of direction, hoping you don't lose your way. The standard recommendation is to save 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a liquid, easily accessible account. This might seem like a lot, but consider the alternative. Without this cushion, you'll turn to credit cards during emergencies. You'll accumulate high-interest debt, and you'll spend years digging yourself out of a hole. Starting an emergency fund doesn't require a massive amount of money. Start with $1,000, then build it to $3,000, then to $6,000. Make it automatic. Set up a transfer from each paycheck to a separate savings account. Before you know it, you'll have the financial security that most people never achieve. The fourth habit that keeps you poor is avoiding investing for the future. Money that sits in a checking account or under your mattress is actually losing value. Inflation means that the purchasing power of your money decreases over time. That dollar today won't be worth $1 in 10 years. Yet so many people are afraid of investing. They think it's too risky, too complicated, too expensive, so they do nothing, which is actually the riskiest choice of all. Investing doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to pick individual stocks, or time the market, or have a 6-figure portfolio to get started. Simple index funds and target date funds make investing accessible to everyone. The key is to start early and invest consistently. Even small amounts matter. $100 per month invested over 30 years can grow to over $200,000 depending on your returns. This is the power of compound interest, of letting your money work for you while you sleep. Most people understand this intellectually, but they never actually do it because they're stuck in the other habits we've mentioned. They're spending money they don't have. They're not tracking their expenses. They don't have an emergency fund. By the time they think about investing, there's nothing left over. Break this cycle. Invest something, even if it's small. Make it automatic. Let time and compound interest do the heavy lifting. The fifth habit is ignoring your debt. If you have debt, pretending it doesn't exist won't make it go away. In fact, ignoring debt makes it worse. Interest compounds, late fees accumulate, and your credit score suffers. Many people have so much anxiety around their debt that they simply refuse to look at it. They don't open the statements. They don't create a payment plan. They just let it sit there, growing like a weed in an unmaintained garden. This avoidance is one of the most expensive habits you can develop. The solution requires courage, but it's straightforward. Face your debt head on. List all your debts. Know exactly how much you owe and what the interest rates are. Create a payment plan. You can use the snowball method, paying off the smallest debt first, or the avalanche method, paying off the highest interest rate first. Both work. The key is to have a plan and to execute it consistently. As you pay down debt, you free up money that was going to interest and can redirect it toward building wealth. This is like climbing a mountain. It's hard work. It requires consistent effort, and some days you don't feel like you're making progress. But if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, eventually you reach the summit. The view from the top makes every step worth it. The sixth habit that keeps you poor is spending more when you earn more. This is called lifestyle inflation. You get a raise and suddenly your expenses increase to match your new income. You get a bonus and you immediately spend it on something you've wanted. You inherit money from a relative and within months it's gone, absorbed into a higher lifestyle. This is the treadmill trap again. You're running faster, but you're still not getting ahead. Real wealth is built by increasing your income while keeping your expenses relatively stable. This creates a gap between what you earn and what you spend. This gap is where wealth is built. When you get a raise, don't immediately upgrade your living situation. Keep your apartment, keep your car, keep your lifestyle. Instead, direct that extra money toward your emergency fund, toward debt repayment, or toward investments. This is where discipline separates the wealthy from everyone else. The wealthy don't spend more just because they can. They maintain a relatively stable lifestyle even as their income increases. This allows them to accumulate capital, to invest, to build real security. Most people do the opposite. They immediately spend every penny they earn, which is why they never build wealth regardless of how much they make. There are people earning six figures who live paycheck to paycheck because they've developed this habit. There are people earning $50,000 a year who are building significant wealth because they haven't. The seventh and final habit is isolating yourself from financial knowledge. Money management isn't taught in schools. Most people never learned about budgeting, investing, debt management, or financial planning from their parents or teachers. So they make the same mistakes everyone else makes. They repeat the patterns they were taught, or they reinvent the wheel. If you want to escape poverty, you need to become a student of finance. Read books about money, listen to podcasts, take courses, follow people who are building wealth, and learn from their experiences. It's like standing at the bottom of a mountain in the fog. You don't have a map, and you don't know where to go. But if you educate yourself, if you learn from others who have made the climb, you can create your own path to the summit. Knowledge is the most valuable investment you can make because it compounds over your entire life. Every financial principle you learn, every money habit you develop, affects every decision you make from that day forward. The investment in your financial education pays dividends forever. Now that you understand these 7 habits, the question becomes, which ones are you guilty of? Which habits have you been repeating without even realizing the damage they're doing? The good news is that habits can be changed. It takes time, it takes consistency, it takes discipline. Start by identifying which habit is hurting you the most. Maybe it's spending money you don't have. Maybe it's not tracking your spending or not investing for the future. Pick one habit and focus on changing it. Once you've successfully changed that habit, move to the next one. This is how transformation happens. Not all at once, but gradually, one better choice at a time. You're not born poor. Poverty is usually a choice, a series of choices repeated over and over. Money habits are exactly that, habits, and habits can be broken. The fact that you're watching this video means you're already taking the first step toward change. You're becoming aware of patterns that have been keeping you stuck. Now it's time to act. Take what you've learned today and apply it to your life. Track your spending. Build an emergency fund. Stop spending money you don't have. Start investing. Face your debt. Resist lifestyle inflation. Invest in your financial education. These 7 changes will transform your financial future. The road ahead might feel foggy and uncertain, but each step you take brings you closer to the summit of financial freedom. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more content about building wealth and breaking the habits that keep you poor.